Welcome to All Things Moore County, Moore County's weekly radio show highlighting the many facets of the Sandhills. That includes real estate, lifestyles, community, and neighborhoods. And now, from 4 Properties, here's your host, Bill Sahadi.
Good morning and welcome to the show All Things Moore County. It seems like a year ago went and came so quickly, and we are back at one of the favorite weeks of the year, which is Thanksgiving weekend. We're going to go from this week into Thanksgiving this coming Thursday, and lots of families get together, special events happen. Moore County is a great place to be this time of the year, and it really does get the holiday season kicked off on the right foot. A year ago, we had the Taylor Dance Studio on. Gary Taylor was here, and this year his wife Rita is going to join us. And we have some of the returning dancers, a couple of new faces, to talk about the upcoming production of the Nutcracker and why it's so important, and in this community, why some of the students who are so talented and courageous endear themselves to the people who come and attend these shows and learn life lessons that they take with them long after the arts of school have left them. That's all I want to say. Rita, I want to welcome you and say good morning, and thanks for coming to join us. And I'd like you to tell us a little bit about the Taylor Dance Studio, what it means to you, its history, where we are, and where we're going.
Sounds wonderful. And thank you so much for having us. We're looking forward to chatting about our upcoming productions. So,
absolutely.
The Taylor Dance, Gary Taylor Dance, has been a part of the Sandhills community for the past 20th year. 20 years. This is actually our 20th season.
Wow.
Which is hard to believe.
1998?
1990, right. That's right. 98, 99 was our first season.
Wow.
That's
okay.
correct, yeah.
Okay.
Since then, lots of changes.
Yeah.
Lots of wonderful things happening within the company. The Gary Taylor Dance is now merged with the Winston-Salem Festival Ballet, which is a professional company out of Winston-Salem. And the plan is to not only provide opportunities through our pre-professional school and training site here and our apprentice opportunities for dancers, but to also bring professional dance to the communities of Pinehurst, Southern Pines, and Aberdeen. So we're very excited about that. So some really wonderful changes. That merge happened about a year ago. So it's in its full regalia at this point, and looking forward to bringing professional dancers from the Winston-Salem Festival Ballet to be a part of the Gary Taylor Dance production of the Nutcracker here.
When you gave birth to the Taylor Dance Studio way back in 1998, did you ever think you would be presiding over these beautiful, talented young ladies and gentlemen, and what you have built? It's almost like raising children and seeing them grow and move on. Very
much so. That's one of the greatest privileges of our lives, is to be able to interact, to train, to work with, and to be a part of these young people's lives. And for example, Caroline and I have spent 13 years together. We've had a very, very, very long run together, and looking forward to her moving on, certainly having reaching her dreams in theater, acting, and dance, a very strong component of our company, and has been here a long time. And Sarah and Colton have been with us the last couple of years, and very excited to have them on board, and beautiful technical dancers whose heart and souls are in this. They spend untold numbers of hours training and working, and the product is extraordinary.
We're going to introduce and speak to all the people at the table, which is Sarah Costanza to my left, Carolyn Mays, and Colton Libertore. And I will pronounce your name right, I promise, the whole show.
You actually did. Very good.
I did?
Very good,
okay.
Yes.
The Nutcracker is a culmination of a lot of work year-round. It's not just something that you start after Labor Day and kick into gear like there's another gig or another event. This is in the plans, in the works almost 12 months a year.
It is, very much. The dancers are always training.
Uh-huh.
They're doing summer intensives when others are swimming and at the pool and lots of outdoor activities in the summer. These dancers are working in class up to 6 hours a day.
Right.
Lots of training going on into the fall. Always plans for the Nutcracker to be bigger and better than it was the year before. The dancers become stronger and stronger at their craft. And so always a very exciting time to present the new Nutcracker each season.
So 20 years in means you have a lot of alumni who come back to visit. Some of them go on to dance. Some of them just take an appreciation of the arts with them.
That's right.
But they come back to see you, sort of like the prodigal daughter or son returning home.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the wonderful part of that is that they bring back their gifts, that with their wonderful talent, they also bring back the gifts of giving back to the students. And so whether it's training or speaking with them about opportunities, we have coming back to the area the same weekend that we'll be doing the Nutcrackers, Bradley Gibson.
That's right.
And he was one of our dancers. And then we have Tyler Lee, who is on Broadway. So we have a lot of dancers that are out in the field. In fact, hundreds of dancers that are out in the field all over the world. And it's a very exciting time. And it's also very exciting when they come back to give back to the students who are here.
What is it about the Nutcracker that puts it permanently in our psyche? There's something special about it.
I think it's the extraordinary music of Tchaikovsky, the work of Marius Petipa, the choreographer, and the story. I mean, it's just a tradition. It's a classic, and I think we hear the music from the moment Halloween finishes until Christmas is finished. We hear the music, and we're all very aware of the various elements and variables that are a part of the ballet. But I think it's just the combination of the choreography, the music, and the sets, the costumes. I mean, it's a candy shop, you know.
We're not ignoring any of you, I promise you, because we're gonna come back and talk to all of you. But I want to be able to get a couple of things out first, and I love how you're nodding yes. You're so coachable. You guys are so coachable. You just are.
That's what we do all the time.
You are coachable. Someone who's listening who's just now heard of the Taylor Dance Studio, tell me about the age group. When do students start? A little bit about the enrollment, how
Okay.
people can get involved.
Sure, and our enrollment starts at 3 years old, and we go from 3-year-old to 21 years old.
3 years old?
Yes, 3 years old. Now, the Nutcracker itself, the eligibility age for that is 8 years old.
Okay.
And so, but then again, we have professionals that are dancing into their 20s and 30s, and then we have adult members of the cast who are in the party scene. So there's about 75 performers on stage during the Nutcracker at different points during the show. So it's a great span of ages and opportunity.
Yeah. All Things More County has been doing this for 9 years. Some of the best shows that we've ever done, and some of the most important shows, always feature students, and it talks about the arts.
Right.
And there's a lot of conversation. You know, we just came through an election, lots of political issues and this and that. It seems like the arts always get cut first. And what Taylor Dance offers is almost like an appendage to the arts. I mean, there are different areas to go. I know the public school is doing a lot to keep things alive.
Right.
But it's so important to keep the arts alive in our schools.
Well, and I think that the arts they're life skills. They're not only the beauty and grace and the tradition, the things that are handed down from hundreds of years ago, but it's the life skills that we build into our students as well. It's the setting goals and working through, and there's not a quick reward. Ballet dancers study 10 years to be competent. So it's a very long process. It's a patient process. How can that not apply in any facet of our lives, whether it's a lawyer in a courtroom or a doctor in a surgical center or a school teacher in a classroom. It teaches life skills, patience, caring, hard work.
Okay. Before we started the show, I had a chance to speak with Sarah and Caroline and Colton, and we were going over a couple of things we wanted to talk about. But now she has given me another question that I'm going to be asking you guys, and that is about the life skills that you do learn. And your sister, Mary, who graduated and went on to Wake Forest, you've observed her, and now you're following in her footsteps, and you see the life skills that she has and that you have. This is a good opportunity for me to say to Sarah Costanza, we're glad to have you back.
Thank you.
It's always great
It's good to be back.
Yeah, she's been on a couple of times, both with the Nutcracker and with her mom and her sister. You had an exciting summer a couple of years ago in New York City. We didn't know if you were ever going to come back, but you did.
I did. Had lots of stories to tell.
And I remember the photo shoots, and boy, that must have been a trip you'll never forget.
I'll never forget it.
Which Nutcracker is this for you? How many have you performed in?
Probably
20, 21?
probably my 8th or 9th Nutcracker overall, but this will be my 3rd Nutcracker with Gary Taylor Dance.
Okay. And as we go through, I want to talk to you a little bit about what Taylor Dance means to you, the life skills that Rita spoke about, and the relationships that you all have developed amongst yourselves. There's a camaraderie and there's a spirit of togetherness that only you guys understand, right? We're going to get to that today. Carolyn Mays, you have been on before, and you have been on in many different capacities, not just in the arts.
Yeah.
And you have the debate skills and so articulate. How many Nutcrackers have you done with Taylor Dance?
This is my 9th Nutcracker with Gary Taylor Dance.
That's it. I dropped the pen. 9th?
9, yes.
Yes.
My goodness. So you have been with Taylor Dance since how old?
Well, I moved to North Carolina whenever I was 5, and I started dancing right around that time with Gary and Rita.
Okay. And what year of school are you in?
I'm a junior at Pinecrest.
Okay, so you have one more year, and then it's on to college.
Yes.
Okay. Is it too early to ask you what you're looking at down the road? And if it is, it is.
I'm not quite sure, but I'm really considering theater.
Okay.
Something in the arts.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay. The relationships you have developed over those 9 years, how long have you and Sarah known each other?
I've known Sarah ever since she came to Gary Taylor Dance about 3 years ago.
Yep.
So you just form an amazing bond with these people. You
Right.
spend countless hours in the studio perfecting dances and working on your techniques, and you just develop this bond, and it's really great.
So I can see the way the two of you relate, that not only do you have chemistry, you have shared experiences, and in between the lines, I see that you support each other.
Absolutely.
And that's, it's just like a quiet agreement almost. Colton Libertore, you have, I know because we spoke earlier, this is your 3rd
Yes.
Nutcracker.
Yes, it is.
And you moved here when you were in 5th grade.
Yes, sir.
You transferred here from,
Virginia.
okay,
Yeah.
and you got involved a couple of years after you got here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
So you are not only part of you're not just doing ballet, you're on the football team?
Yes, sir.
You're a sophomore in high school?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, lots of stuff going on.
Yes.
So how do you tell somebody, oh yeah, I'm a football player and I do ballet? Help me with that.
Well, it's a little bit simpler than you think. I just say, I'm just your normal random kid who just happens to do football and dance.
Okay.
A lot of people don't really expect that mix to go on, like, oh, football and dance.
Right.
Well, they kind of work both hand in hand with the flexibility in dance that helps me in football. And then with the training in football helps me more with my muscles that I have to use in dance.
Okay.
So they kind of work hand in hand with each other.
My guess is, and I don't know this, I'm going to guess you're a receiver.
No, actually, I am a linebacker.
Really?
Yes, sir.
My goodness.
Yeah.
I thought I would expect wider, but your height, I would think you would be like a split end or something.
Well, sadly, I've got butter fingers, so I can't really catch anything.
So you're in a unique position where you have a couple of mentors from both sides of the aisle that are very good. And we're talking about Coach Chris Metzger
Yes.
at Pinecrest
Right.
and Rita and Gary Taylor.
Yeah.
So you must be loaded with discipline,
Very.
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yes.
I would say. I mean, it's interesting because Gary and Metzger are very different, but also very alike.
Uh-huh.
They're both very disciplined, and they kind of teach almost the same type of morals that help with everything.
Right.
But Gary, he's a little bit more relaxed and chilled out and a little bit more animated, while Metzger is more, he comes across a little bit more aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
He's a little bit more,
Intense.
very intense, very intense.
Yes.
But he's also a very chill guy if you get to know him behind
Yes, he
football.
is. I agree with you.
So
I
they
agree.
both kind of help hand in hand.
Yeah. So, okay, so you're a linebacker in football.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me your role in Nutcracker.
My role in Nutcracker this year is the Oriental lead.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have a lot going on.
Yes.
Okay. We're going to come back in the second set. We're going to talk a little bit more at length with some of the dancers that are here who are great students, great young people. And I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed looking at your website on Facebook,
wonderful.
where
Thank
you are posting. You have some talented, beautiful students who are going to be performing in the Nutcracker. We couldn't possibly have them all on. But if you go to Facebook and you just type in Taylor Dance Studio, you can see bios on this beautiful young lady, on this beautiful young lady, and this football player
Absolutely.
over here.
That's right.
Okay, we're talking all about the Nutcracker. We'll be back in the second set. This is All Things Moore County. It's a shame that you guys are not like comfortable with each other. You
Oh, I
get
know. It's
together.
sad, isn't it? It's just
When you-
sad.
when you weren't here,
There's
yeah.
zero rapport
So
here.
we were talking about chemistry and shared
Yes,
experiences,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And it's almost like there's a bond. It's
Oh,
it's
my
unwritten,
goodness.
but it's there.
Well, Calli's another one that I've had 13 years. So I mean, these guys, these guys have grown up together. and
Calli, I've had on the show 13 times
oh wow, have you really?
in a year, and one or two of her
Yeah.
own.
Yeah.
So we are okay. We're back on the
Okay.
on the radio, and we're talking about the Nutcracker, and we are being joined in this set by Calli McIntyre, who is not a stranger to a lot of people. She might be the busiest young lady in America. I'm not sure. But Calli, you're going to be this. What Nutcracker is this for you? Because we were just talking to Caroline and to Sarah.
This is also my 9th because when
Crazy.
Caroline started, I did too. It was the first year that we had it in the Sandhills after Gary Taylor started here. So I was Clara my first year, and I was
Okay.
Clara for 2 years after that. So
3 years.
I was
yeah.
Clara for 3 years, and that was really, really fun. So
And this year?
this year, I'm Clara's mom. So everything's
I know,
coming
it's
around
full
full circle.
That's right.
I played
Life
Clara's...
can be cruel, can't it?
Yes, yes. So I played Clara's mom last year, and
Right.
then I was Arabian lead. This year I'm Russian. This is my 3rd year playing Russian. I had like a gap year, so I was Russian for 2 years, Arabian, now Russian again. So yeah.
I remember last year when we spoke, if I'm not mistaken, didn't a lot of you share roles where
They
you
do.
flip-flop?
Yes.
They do.
And why is that? There's a reason, wasn't there?
You know,
Rita?
well, first of all, I want the students to have lots of experiences.
Uh-huh.
Additionally, I want the audience to have lots of experiences. So
Right.
if you come on Sunday, you're
Right.
not going to see the same cast that you saw on Friday
Right.
or Saturday. But it's very important to for them to have the exposure of working in a real theatrical or performance environment
Right.
where this is what's done. Different people step in to accomplish different roles to make things happen. You always want to keep performers on their toes.
Right.
And they also have so many wonderful skill sets that you also want them to have the opportunity. For example, if someone's extremely flexible, you want them to have an opportunity to do Arabian. Well, I may have 5 people that are extraordinary in Arabian or flexible, and so I want them to have that opportunity. So it's for the dancer, it's for the directors as well as the audience. It
Right.
keeps things fresh.
One of the things we spoke about, Calli, when in the first set when you were not here, was not just the chemistry, but the support each one of you give each other, and the silent understanding about what you're all doing together, because you're in it together. So when roles get interspersed and changed, everyone is trying to help the other person just to be the very best they can, regardless of which role they're playing at the time.
Yes. So I had some amazing predecessors before me. So like Miss Elizabeth, for example, she teaches all of us ballet. She played Clara before me. There was a girl that we had, her name was Lexi. She played Clara. And so I was able to learn from them when I was little. And now I'm teaching people. I mean, still little Claras, like they'll have questions. The choreography hasn't changed.
Yeah.
So we're all able to kind of filter around and help out.
She brings up a great point, Caroline, paying it forward.
Right.
Right, Sarah, paying it forward. You guys have become maybe indirectly mentors for some of the younger students coming up.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, we were all in the same position as like the younger kids are in now, where we were looking up to all of the older kids, and we were watching what they were doing. And so it's really cool to just kind of be that mentor figure towards basically the next generation of Gary Taylor dance.
You know, and they're,
Rita?
in all honesty, these children, these young adults, these from this age, they're our legacy as well.
Right.
Gary and I do this every day. I'm going into my 40th season. My husband is going into his 32nd season. The reason that we do this is to ensure that the arts live, and that they live in these guys.
Right.
And they go on to give back.
Right.
And so legacy, huge word for us in the arts.
Yeah. I'm not going to, every time I speak to Calli, I'm not going to bring her back up to speed on what we spoke about in the first set. But one of the things I did say was that the arts are one of the themes of our shows. We've had Adam Faw on. We've had some of the people that have supported you in some of the things you're doing. The arts are there, even though they don't always get funded properly. But if somebody wants to take advantage of what's here, if you go after it, it's there for you, isn't it?
Right, yeah, we have so many resources, especially now with Gary Taylor Dance. We have the side of Imagine Youth Theater, which gives kids opportunities to get lead roles at very young ages, which I think is something that is really rare to have now, because I remember growing up when we had the Playhouse, which was many years ago through Taylor, I would get, little roles, but this is for its junior shows, and so it's for kids to be able to understand what it's like to have a lead. And like I said, yeah, if you just go after it, there are definitely resources here. I mean, like I transferred to a different school in the middle of my,
Right.
High school life, to a different school just for the arts program, and I definitely got it.
Right.
So
I've always watched ballet from afar, and as I've gotten closer to seeing it, why is it that so many people underestimate how truly rigorous ballet is? I don't think people, it looks good, how hard it is. Sarah, I'm going to let you take the lead on this one.
You say to someone, I'm a ballet dancer, and they say, oh, do you spin around on your toes? Do you wear a pretty pink tutu?
Right.
And I'm just like, you do not know the extent of how difficult ballet is. Every single day, most weeks I dance 7 days a week, many, many, many hours a day, rehearsal all day, every day, on every weekend. And just the point shoes alone, ow, they can hurt so badly, but it is all worth it. And ballet, you go in every single day, every class, knowing you're not going to get instantaneous results the next day. You'll only be a fraction better the next day. So you have to have so much patience and just have faith that if you keep on working hard, it all pays off.
Absolutely.
And just people don't expect that.
Well, that's a great life lesson that you just said. But a ballet is so graceful. It looks so easy. And isn't that what you're trying to achieve?
Yes.
Caroline.
Yes. the whole goal is to make it look effortless,
Right.
to make it look beautiful and easy and graceful. But on the inside, it's hard work and sweat and blood and tears and all of that.
Sounds like Colton playing football.
There you go. There you go. He
Yeah.
gets it for both sides, unfortunately.
Less tackling.
Yeah.
A lot of people say ballet is not a sport, but when they say that, I quickly say, yes, it is, because it's so much work, so much hard work and determination and patience and all of that all goes into making ballet look beautiful.
So, your answers right now, the most animated responses you've given me in the show.
We can
Bar
get
none.
very passionate about this.
I can see it.
That's right.
Colton, is ballet as hard as football?
I would say, if not harder, then yes,
Wow.
it is.
Wow.
Football, it's more, there's certain parts that just hurt more sometimes. Like during a certain workout, my arms will hurt, or my legs will hurt, or my abs will hurt. But during dance, everything is constantly hurting. Your legs, your arms, your chest, everything is being engaged the entire time while you're dancing.
Yeah.
So I would say that there's it's a little bit more of a different type of pain. It's more of an engaging type of pain. Like, you can kind of push through it, but then also there's kind of a point where you're like, okay, I need to sit down.
Colton told me, and I didn't know this, he was in the Addams Family with you.
Yes.
And he was the father of...
Colton played Mal Beinecke, so like my fiance's dad.
Okay.
Yes.
I went to see it. It was very memorable. It really did stick in my mind. I had no idea. So you find the time to act, to dance, and to play football.
Colton and I have been in so many shows together. I can't
Huh?
even. Colton and I have been in so many shows
lot.
together.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yes, we started out together as Aladdin and Jasmine like 3 summers ago.
Yes, we've been like very different types of roles. We've been relationship roles. We've been
Adversarial roles.
Yes, adversarial roles.
Oh yeah, we played Gaston and Belle. So in
Yes.
Beauty and the Beast, so 2 opposing roles.
Yeah.
Colton and I have really done it all together.
Pretty much, and then I played her father-in-law.
Yeah, he did play my father.
Who I didn't actually want my son to be with Wednesday Addams.
Yes.
So yeah, I looked a little bit different. I had gray hair.
Gosh,
I
I miss Addams Family.
had some makeup to make me look a little bit older. So that's probably why.
Just a little bit, right?
Just a little bit.
Not,
just a
not
little
too
bit.
much.
That's right.
You got the ways and the means of a much older person.
Yes.
You really
yes.
do, like an older soul.
Thank you.
You went to Stars before
Yes, I
you
did.
went to. Now you're at Pinecrest. You're a sophomore.
Yes.
Okay. How do you enjoy working with these impressive ladies?
Oh, I love it. I mean, they make the when we're doing partnering so much easier. Because I mean, I've been only dancing for 3 years now, so it was just a little bit different for me when I started getting into it, and I was like, I really hope I don't mess this up. Like,
Yeah.
I'm really trying not to hurt somebody and make some people mad, because I
Right.
don't want to do that. But I mean, they're all very chill. They understand that I'm a little bit new to it, and they all help me out too. They'll tell me like, hey, when I'm doing this turn, can you help me with this? And something like that. And they kind of work with me to help me out. And yeah, it's just a partnership thing. It's a little bit, there's trust in there and stuff like that.
All the shows we've done, women, the ladies are always so articulate, so easy to express. Sometimes guys not so much. You, yes, you're all over it. I mean, you are.
He's an actor, singer, dancer.
He,
so yes,
you're
yes.
very comfortable in your own skin.
Yeah.
And I think the ladies are too. The Nutcracker, you're going to do 3 performances. They're all going to be at the Robert E. Lee Auditorium. You're doing a Friday evening performance at 7:30 on the 23rd, which is the day after Thanksgiving. And then you're doing 2 matinees, 2 o'clock on Saturday and 2 o'clock on Sunday. To our third and final set, it's a privilege to speak with these gifted students. And Rita, I think we could do this every year with them.
Oh, I think it's fun. I love it.
I've told Calli on past shows, she always made me feel insecure when I was a kid her age because I was so unaccomplished. I did nothing.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God! I mean, I had nothing.
Yeah.
I just
I understand.
showed up at school, and my parents were like, "This, please don't get in trouble." But not here. Everybody here is so proactive.
They are, and their resumes are extensive.
Yeah.
So yes.
I know. Robert E. Lee Auditorium is going to host the show Friday, the 23rd of November at 7:30, and then 2 matinees, one on Saturday and one on Sunday. Tickets can be purchased how, where?
Look at the website.
Okay.
Go to GaryTaylorDance.org,
Okay.
and the ticket information is there. You could do it online, you could do it in the middle of the night, or you can make a phone call, whichever is easier. But it's a very simple process to acquire tickets.
Anybody who has seen the Nutcracker will know what an expensive production it is
Yes.
because of the costumes, the sets. I don't think they don't understand the rigors of ballet. I don't think people understand the high cost of producing a show of this magnitude.
That's true. This particular Nutcracker runs in excess of $75,000 for the production.
Oh.
The sets are in excess of $250,000. It took 5 years for the development of those sets, and they were designed by the renowned scenic designer Howard C. Jones. The costumes, there's over $150,000 worth of costuming on stage. It's handmade work. Tutus are in excess of $3,000 to $5,000. Tiaras are Swarovski crystals, and they are anywhere from $750 to $1,250. A men's tunic that you see on stage can be in excess of $1,500. So it's a very expensive production, and that's not including labor, lighting, crew. That's all a part of that.
Do you own the costumes?
We do. We own the set,
Goodness, what
and
an
we own the
image.
costuming. We do, and we're constantly refreshing, changing, revitalizing pieces. I know this will be the last year with the current Sugar Plum Fairy costume. They last about 5 years. They're in excess of $5,000, and you have to retire them about every 5 years. So we'll be getting a new Sugar Plum Fairy next year.
Okay. I want to talk a little bit about the importance of sponsors because it's obvious to me that, a production like this, breaking even becomes a noble goal.
Absolutely.
Maybe an unreachable goal, I don't know.
Possibly. We're very happy if we can get 20% of the proceeds of the production from ticket sales.
Right.
Sometimes we don't reach that goal, but we always hope for about 20%. The rest of that is accomplished through sponsorship, and we have wonderful community sponsorship and growing community sponsorship for this beautiful production. We could not do it without our sponsors.
Would I put you on the spot if I asked you who the sponsors, some of the sponsors were? Yes, I don't want to do that.
No, that's totally fine. Granville Financial.
Yes.
Dr.
That's my
Brooks
family.
Mays. Yeah, Dr. Brooks
Caroline's
Mays.
family.
Richard Costanza.
Yes.
Sarah.
Dr. Leslie Murphy.
I think Realty World as well.
Realty World.
Nikki Bowman.
Yes. And we have, we're very wealthy in the process of sponsorship at this point. People are very kind and generous, and they make this happen for these dancers and for the community. Because again, bringing a Nutcracker to a community is an extraordinary expense, and we're very lucky to have the sponsorships.
Yeah. I want to ask you guys a question. I'm going to start with you, Sarah. What does the tradition of the Nutcracker mean to you?
Having done it every year since I was so young, I know I look forward to
She's
Nutcracker.
older now. She's
Much older now.
Yeah. Much older.
I just know I've done it so many times. I look forward to it year round,
Okay.
all year. I wait for Nutcracker. I'm just like, I can't wait until it's Nutcracker season. Just getting in the studio every weekend and rehearsing, just being with everyone, listening to the amazing music, the dances, the choreography. Just, it makes me so happy. I just can't wait for it every year.
Sort of like the tie that binds.
It is.
Bonds.
It is indeed.
Carolyn, the tradition means a lot to you. I think
Yes.
for many reasons.
Yes. Well, one thing, it's really a family affair because like everyone in my family gets involved in some aspect of the Nutcracker. And then we have extended family who comes just to see, like they come up for Thanksgiving and they come to see the show. And they're always asking, oh, who are you playing in the Nutcracker? Who is your brother playing in the Nutcracker? So it's really great.
So your brother's going to be in it?
He is. My youngest brother, Robbie, is playing, he's the prince. And my dad is the grandfather. And my other brother, he works backstage, and my mom, like, volunteers and helps out.
I've heard brothers,
Surely a
but no
family
sisters. You're the only girl?
I am.
Lucky you. Colton, what about you? The tradition of the Nutcracker?
The tradition is very important to me. This is only my 3rd year doing it, but I remember the very first year I did it, I was like, holy guacamole, this is pretty cool. I was just in awe of everything. The girl dancers, the guy dancers. The guy dancers, I was like, whoa, dude, I don't think I can do that.
You need to break out of your shell just a little
I know,
more.
he's very shy. He's very shy.
Yeah, I was like, oh man. I mean, it's very awesome. It's cool. Everything about it is great. The sets.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the first time I looked at the set for second act, I was like, whoa, I feel like I could just go up there and eat all the candy. But I mean, I can't eat the candy, of course. But it's just very important to me. I love doing theater, acting, dancing.
Okay.
Everything about that is just, it's kind of like a lifestyle for me. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Calli, you're the senior at this table. Not only a senior in high school, but you pull rank a little bit on everybody here, so you've seen a lot of this.
Yes.
The tradition is special to you as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it always hits home for me every year. I mean, I've been doing this since I was 9 years old. Well, the Nutcracker since I was 9. And so, I mean, it doesn't feel like Thanksgiving unless, you know, I've had tech week all week. I get one break to go eat some Thanksgiving dinner and then go right back to the auditorium. Like, that's how it always is every year. Like, I remember my aunt, like, gave birth to her daughter 2 years ago, and I was, like, at home fixing dinners, like, getting everything set just so I could, like, get back and be in the show. But this year is just going to be so bittersweet because it's my last Nutcracker.
Right.
And just, you know, growing up through
Right.
through this show and seeing so many different people, it's going to be so weird not having it next year.
Yeah. And next year is going to bring a lot of changes for you.
Gosh, I have no idea what's happening. I mean, I'm applying to 23 schools.
They're putting you in a cannon. They're going to shoot you.
Pretty much.
Where you're going to land.
Pretty much. It's like bingo.
Yeah.
It's like bingo.
So the Thanksgiving weekend is not a 4-day vacation for you guys. It's not like just sitting around by a fire, eating turkey.
Not at all.
You have 1 day off?
One
Yeah.
day.
That's right.
And it's always terrible after you eat so much and then you come back and then like you take that first warm-up class with Gary and everybody's kind of like waddling around because they've eaten so much.
So this coming Wednesday, is that the last day of school? Do they go?
I think
Tuesday.
Tuesday is the
Tuesday.
last
It's
day.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
so everybody runs out the door. It's Tuesday. Hey, we have a 5-day weekend, right? You guys go home and you need Epsom salts.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, they will have performed twice on that Tuesday
Mhm.
before they go back for rehearsals that night.
Sarah?
I do this thing during Nutcracker week where I'll get a trash can,
Uh-huh.
fill it about halfway up with ice,
Uh-huh.
and then fill the rest up with water and just stick my legs in it.
Yeah.
Because they're just so swollen
Everything
by
hurts.
that point.
That is grueling.
You just sort of grip all of the muscles in your body for 10 minutes and just get through it.
Yeah.
Caroline, what some people don't know is this is the first production you're doing. So you had some knee surgery?
I did. Back in March, I had pretty major knee reconstruction surgery.
And what happened? Can I ask? How did?
Yeah. So, well, I know part of it has to do with genetics, and then also part of it has to do with like my knee structure is not very good at all.
Okay.
And so like the muscles are weak, my knee was dislocated, and I just had so many problems over the years of it popping in and out of socket.
Right.
And it would cause a whole lot of pain. And I remember about this time last year, I was just walking down steps and it popped again, and it ended up I ended up bruising my kneecap. And so we figured something had to be done, and so I got knee
Good for
surgery.
you. So psychologically, do you have a fear of being ballet? You're using all your joints. My goodness. I mean,
I mean,
back of your mind?
Not as much anymore, just because
Good.
the surgery was successful and my knee is now properly aligned. I have a little bit of fear with my other knee. I mean, it's popped out before, but never as severe as the other one. So it's kind of in the back of my mind, but I've kind of learned to just like, it's probably not going to happen. It's very rare, and if it does, then it's okay, because this knee is, like I said, not nearly as bad as the other one was.
Wow. Well, it takes a lot of courage to go back and do it. And is this the first time you'll be performing?
Yes, and I cannot wait. I'm so excited to get back up there and start dancing.
So we just don't say to her, break a leg.
No.
We just say good luck, and you look great, and move on.
That's right. That's right.
You could say married.
Mayor, dancers say mayor.
That's right.
Yes.
We're going to wind down here pretty shortly, but I want to ask you all about the role of your parents in your in support of what it is you do, and how much you recognize it or don't recognize. I don't know, maybe you don't. Sarah, I'm going to start with you.
I definitely would not be able to do this in any where near the capacity that I do this without my parents.
Yeah.
My mom, she's there 24/7 for me with dance. She probably knows almost as much about dance as I do. If not more, I have any questions, concerns, I go to my mom. She's really involved with the studio too, helping out, trying to help it grow. And also in Nutcracker. And I'm just so thankful that I can have parents as supportive as I do.
Mm-hmm. Carolyn, very well said, by the way.
Thank you.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Sarah kind of covered it all, really. My parents have been such influential figures in my dance career. And I think I mentioned that they both get involved in the Nutcracker, and they get so involved with Gary Taylor Dance. Like my dad, he's one of the sponsors, and it's just amazing that they're there to support me, and they're there to support the company, and I can't thank them enough.
That's wonderful. Wonderful. Colton.
Yes, my parents have been here since the beginning. I mean, when I was a little kid, I didn't really know I wanted to be an actor or anything. I was just trying to play games and be Spider-Man.
Right.
I mean, they obviously saw something in me that I didn't at the time and put me in a local theater program called Drama Kids, and I just instantly fell in love with it. And they've been supporting me all throughout then. They actually support acting and dancing and all that more than they do football. My dad he will always say that, I see all these kids out there on the football team, and I don't think any of them are honestly going to make it to the NFL, truthfully. And I think you have the potential to be a good football player, but I think you have the better potential to be a better actor.
Wow.
So,
That's wonderful support from a parent, isn't
Yes,
it?
it is.
yeah.
Very unusual.
Mm-hmm.
Calli, we talked about it before, but I want to talk about it again with your folks, your grandparents, your
Yes.
support system.
So I come from a family of financial planners and stockbrokers, so the arts world was just completely, it was foreign to my family, and I have gotten so much support and love from them. My first year Nutcracker, 9 years ago, my grandparents were in the party scene. Like my grandfather and my grandmother were party parents, and I have loved Nutcracker since then, but I don't think any Nutcracker I've ever been in topped that one, because just seeing them learn choreography, do pretty much ballroom dancing with each other, like being married, and I still remember my grandmother's dress, and I was little Clara, and what kid could say that her grandparents, were in the party scene with them. It was a great time, and I still get so much support from them.
When you see this on video, because we're going to have this on YouTube, you're going to see this part where you just spoke, and you're going to see the looks that Sarah and Caroline just gave you. Adoring, listening, loving, agreeing. That's what I like. I love the support.
It's a family.
The camaraderie.
It is. We spend a lot of time together and many, many years, and it becomes something beyond coaching and teaching. It really becomes a family.
And it's not a stereotype of dance moms. It's nothing like that. We don't have problems. We don't.
No.
We really don't.
Last year when we had the show, and Gary was here.
Yes.
He was watching the participants speak, and I remember saying to him, you were sort of like nodding and acknowledging like a parent.
Right.
you were just doing that
Absolutely.
with all of them.
Yes.
So proud of them.
Yeah. I can't talk about it. I'm so proud of them.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're my heart.
So the Nutcracker is a culmination of each year, and each year it becomes a different layer of experience for the actresses and the actors.
Absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely. You know, and I think they glean something different from each experience. Each year, stronger,
Right.
more bold, a better way to present yourself. I mean, there's so much to be gleaned each year from the growth and the process of being in a Nutcracker, and then the responsibility of handing it down.
Yeah.
Because their legacy is stepping behind them several years. They're the little girls that played Clara years ago.
Yeah.
So they have a very big responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are great. I do have to say something to Colton. Your conversation with your dad about being a football player or an actor.
Mhm.
When I was in high school, I was a freshman. There was a guy who was a senior in my high school class. His name was Ed Harris.
Mhm.
He's an actor today. He's a very well-known actor.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
He was a captain of the football team. Big man on campus, the whole 9 yards. And he went off and became an actor, and a very good actor. So guess what he did? He did a movie called Radio.
Mhm.
I don't know if you saw it. It was a movie about a football coach who befriended a handicapped child to support him as a trainer on the football team. And when he was asked, how did you find the role of football coach? Guess what he said? He could only draw back experiences from his high school coach, his mentor, and at that point it was my brother's football coach. We talked about Chris Metzger last week on the show and the impressions that he makes. In dance, you guys will draw back on the memories and the thoughts that Rita and Gary, and they'll never leave you.
Yeah.
Ed Harris is an example of someone who is out there and very established.
Absolutely.
But it doesn't matter what you do, you're going to always have these impressions on you. You, young lady, are going to have a ton of them. You're going to have a ton of them. You're going to have a ton of them. And you're going to have more because you play football and you ballet.
Yes.
I hope the people who are here will go out and see you guys this year. And there's so many talented young dancers that are not with us today. And you can go on Facebook and you can go to the Gary Taylor.
Gary Taylor Dance. Yes.
Thank you. And read about the bios on some of the students.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's just, it's a great way to personalize everybody. And I wish we had room for 10 more people,
Absolutely.
but we don't. Okay, Robert E. Lee Auditorium, Friday, the 23rd of November at 7:30, and matinees on Saturday and Sunday at 2 p.m. I hope everybody gets out and puts their eyeballs on these very talented and very courageous students. Wish you guys all the best of luck, and have a happy Thanksgiving, and try to get a little bit more than just a turkey in you on Thursday.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
We appreciate you coming in, and we hope we get to see you guys every year. And you young ladies, since I think we'll see you next year one way or the other.
Yes.
I'm not sure.
Yes.
So you'll come and visit.
First college audition is tomorrow. We're
Okay.
going to see what happens.
All right. I'll line up for an autograph next year. Everybody, this is All Things Moore County. Have a great week. Thank you.
Thank you.